What can anthropologists do in the media field? This is a question we will respond using different insights from anthropologists working in media. This video will explain why anthropologists are suitable for these positions and which skills they can contribute. Michelle explained us the role of anthropologists in content marketing. When creating content to approach a specific target group, a marketeer must know their demographic. For this, quantitative research is essential. However, qualitative research also has a crucial role, which anthropologists can offer. This is because when conducting interviews, focus groups, and field work, anthropologists may get findings that can be valuable to understand the consumer's interests and values. Understanding the target group's cultural values and social practices may help marketeers to tailor content specific for a demographic. Anthropologists may give insight about how consumers use products in their everyday lives and which meanings they give it. This knowledge can be used for the marketing strategies.
I interviewed Bob van Tor. He is a final editor at the Amsterdam newspaper Het Parool. He is originally a historian, but now he is working in the journalistic field for a while, where he edits and fine-tunes texts. He is exceptionally skilled with language, getting the most essential information into quite small pieces of text. In the journalistic field, you quickly assume various roles. You can be a reporter, you interview, you interact with different people, navigating different environments, and then putting it all on paper for people to read. Anthropology and journalism share similarities, and more importantly, they can learn from each other. Ethnographic research is one of the essential methods within anthropology which can be used in a journalistic field as well. Both ethnographers and journalists intrude into the human arena as marginal objective observers and interpreters of the human experience. Both also provide information otherwise unavailable to an interested world. I also think that anthropologists can learn from the journalists as well, in giving greater attention to the concerns of the average reader.
Another field anthropologists can be useful in is the field of museums. Museum anthropology is a subdiscipline of anthropology, and tasks can include the curation and exhibition of cultural and linguistic collections, the contextualizing of museums as social institutions with their specific pasts, and navigating changing political discourses. The museum text editor and storyteller I interviewed explained the importance of anthropological skills in the formulating of knowledge in museums, a puzzle that must be inclusive yet simple enough for a wide audience.
Hannah is a non-fiction editor at a literary publishing company. Before this, she did her bachelor's in Dutch language and culture and then a master's on literature in contemporary society. In this time, she did an internship at her current workplace, which is how she got her job. While the book sector is living under the threat of the more digital forms of entertainment, literature still holds a significant place within media and culture. To be a good publisher, one must have, of course, a good eye for language and storytelling, but also a sense of what goes on in today's society and what books are relevant for it. Understanding the audience is where anthropological skills come in. After all, literature is only a mirror of society.
So moving on to my interview with a French Macanese documentary maker. Beyond what is shown on the silver screen, the making of a documentary incorporates anthropological findings and skill sets. Jacqueline mentions that the entire documentary making process is a tussle between intuition and intention, that there is no concrete linear process. Much like anthropological research, your initial idea develops, then you start gathering field material. Something may happen in the process that changes your initial foundation entirely. In relation to anthropology, Jacqueline says documentary making involves sitting passively and letting things develop, much like Geert's approach of thick description, having a ruthless honesty in seeing. She mentions that nuance is accounted for by letting realities digest or be reconstructed by something else. It's visual anthropology's approach in relinquishing the desire to control, letting things filter and settle.
As a visual artist, Artemis uses the knowledge and methods attained through her anthropology degree, both in the selection of and approach to her subjects. She sees anthropology and art as interrelated disciplines in her own life, and draws on one to complement the other. She notes that while the creative process often requires her to suppress her analytical mind, the skills she picked up through studying and writing ethnography are often hard to set aside. At the same time, she holds no desire to practice anthropology further than her bachelor's degree, as she found the discipline to be too emotionally demanding and overwhelming to enjoy. She is grateful for its role in her journey, but is looking forward to working in the more applied fields of art, design, and sustainable development.